It's going to be very exciting.
It's exciting now. I'm just, to be here, and it just my dreams are coming true, and I thank you for that.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon Dawson. Welcome back to another episode of the B. Dawson Show, where I interview thought leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, founders who are actually crushing it in business today. You're never going to have anybody on this show that we haven't validated is having the kind of success that they state they're having. So you can take it from me on the B. Dawson Show. Dom here is the real deal. Now, introduce yourself, tell everybody what you do for a living and where you're from.
Hey everyone, my name is Dom Delmonico from Red Rock Industries. We're based out of New York. We're currently working out of 5 states and hopefully 9 states within the next 2 years.
Tell everybody what you do.
Okay, my construction company, we build car dealerships, recycling facilities, parking garages, schools, yeshivas, all over the country. Now we're going into Sarasota, and soon we're going to be going into Texas as well.
There you go,
So,
the expansion.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, good. So look, we started working together, I don't know, we met a couple years ago at GrowthCon, right?
Yeah, it was just eye-opener. You and Grant just, our everything was aligned, our views and values, and my son Zach introduced me to you guys, and I was mesmerized in the fact that, we think alike, and I'm just, from that point on.
So sometimes we need to have our kids or our spouses or our significant others, maybe some key employees, introduce some new concepts to us, right?
You know what? I'm always looking for something more. I've never been the one to stop and just be comfortable and complacent. And the fact is, you guys have the energy, and it blew my mind that someone thinks like me, because I always want to do more. I want to do more for myself, for my family, and honestly, most of all, I love helping people. That's just what I do. So this construction business gives me the tools to do that and the means. So, I've been very happy and humbled to be able to help contribute to the foundations that you guys support, as well as my own.
And
And
you've been a big supporter of the Grant Cardone Foundation.
yeah, it's just such an honor, and
Yeah.
to help out kids, it just gives me great joy for my wife and myself, so.
That's awesome.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
so look, so we meet at GrowthCon a couple years ago, and then you start to come into some of the foundation events, and then all of a sudden, you and I start a dialogue about working together and working with each other in your business.
Right.
And you start getting involved in some of the specific programs that we have for helping business owners grow and scale. What has happened? First of all, what size was your business when we started working together?
It was about 15 mil.
15 million.
Yeah, 15 mil, and we were going up to 18, and I just knew that I couldn't do it myself. But with my team, they didn't really, know what to tell me, and I'm the boss, so I got to figure it out. So when I met you and you started letting me know the different levels, I'm like, I'm at the breakpoints.
I'm like, Breakpoint 3 is 18 million.
And you said, hands down, now you're going to start needing controllers. And I'm like, that's exactly where I am. And you just basically knew my business more than I did at that time. I was just shocked. So that's what I started. I started building up another group and duplicating myself. And, I'm at the point where we just keep growing, and it's great. And I'm super, super happy to be working with your team.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's you and your son are just an absolute joy to work with.
Thank you.
So you're 15 million, going to 18 million, feeling the breakpoint, because the top end of Breakpoint 3 is 15 million.
Yeah.
And so Breakpoint 4 is 15 to 25, or actually 18 to 25. So you're sitting there, you're hearing me talk about this is what happens, 100,000 to 3 million, 3 to 8, 8 to 15, 15 to 25. And you're like, I am at the top end of 15. I'm starting to feel the things I was talking about that was going to cause you to potentially slip back. And you're like, I need to get in front of this right now.
100%. And I knew there was a problem. I didn't know how to get in front of it until I met you and you explained it. And it was like, it's that simple. And You know, it wasn't that difficult to do with a mentor like you. And it just, you know, we passed that break point, obviously, and now this year we're looking at $50 million gross.
50. Can we get a big drum roll? 50 million. I want to make sure we don't miss this. So,
Yeah.
15 million. Feeling like you're going to grow to 18 million. Realizing, hey, I got some issues here. What this guy's saying, what I'm going to be dealing with, and what I am dealing with are dead on. I need to get in front of it. I need to protect the next iteration of growth. So breakpoint 3 is 15. Breakpoint 4 is to 25. Then it goes from 25 to 45, and then 45 to 75. We're going to do 50 million this year. So you literally accelerated. In 18 months, you've accelerated through 2 breakpoints.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is.
And
exciting.
scary.
It's scary, 100%. But is it less scary knowing exactly what needed to be in place, having somebody engineer the structural elements for you, and then come alongside and work with you to help you break through to the next level?
Hands down, as nervous as I was doing it, I am so excited at the fact that Cardone Ventures is able to help me through these, you know, through these different growth points. You know, it's amazing, really. You know, last night I had a discussion with Danny, and she was telling me how they're going to help me with HR, because here I'm thinking I have to hire all these people at once, and I get very nervous.
Yep.
And basically, you know, you're talking on a lot of payroll, you know, for higher end employees. And you know what, when I'm ready to hire my own HR, but you know, Cardone Ventures is able to help me with HR, marketing, and there's no stopping.
Yeah, so what happens is we engineered your plan, and we've been working alongside you, and you've been going to our different programs, and you've been educating, and then you've been doing, and then we've been, you know, choreographing every single week as we've been building. Now, boom, we deliver your plan.
Yeah.
And have you seen how big your plan will take you to? Did you guys get into the
Yeah,
expansion this
we're
morning?
actually working on it right now, but yeah,
so
I'm
told you often.
excited.
Do you remember? Do you know how big that number is?
No, we didn't really get there.
You're gonna find out when we're done with our podcast. It's gonna be a big number.
Yeah, I'm excited. Zach's down there watching.
So when you think about the opportunity to actually build your business with your son, do it in a way where you feel like both you and he are on the same page. You know what things needed to be in place. You put them in place. You know what things need to be in place. And then being able to work with us to where instead of you having to go out and get all those team members to work together,
yeah,
you try to figure out how to hire them. You try to figure out how to get them to work together. You try to figure out how to organize them and orchestrate them and manage them. Now all of a sudden you can be like, I'm just going to hire Cardone Ventures and have you guys do a lot of that for me.
You know, I just did the numbers in my head last night, and I'm so relieved that, you know, whatever I invest in Cardone Ventures, I feel I'm getting tenfold. I'm getting it back tenfold. So it's just so amazing. And you know what? I just need to take the reins off. Now that I know that I have Cardone Ventures at my, with me, behind me, I'm 200 million is not a problem. It really is not, because as of right now, I'm working with a different group, and I'm managing the 200 million anyway. It's just Red Rock is actually just doing that 50. So you know, I can make this whatever I want.
Yeah,
we
so
have the opportunity, which is
right.
great. So
how exciting is it to know that all of a sudden, I mean, you know, just envision a world where you wake up in 36 months and you've got a business you own with your son working with you. You've built a great team, and you're doing, let's blink, fast forward 3 years, $250 million
yeah,
dollars.
you're right on the money.
Like
Exactly.
when you think about that opportunity sitting in the palm of your hand versus reflecting back 18 months ago when you're like, I'm scared to go from 15 to 18 because I feel like the business is starting to wobble, right? Faster you go, the wheels start wobbling, the scarier it becomes.
Well, people are afraid of change. Me personally, I know what my capabilities are, and I know what I'm able. Honestly, I feel I'm working at a 30% level, you know. But the people in my organization, they're amazing. But you know, not everyone thinks like me. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, and there are certain people that they just think that, you know, we can't handle anymore. And you have proven that tenfold when I, you know, was telling you how my employees, they're working too much, they're overworked, and what should I do? And what'd you say? Push them harder. And I said, what? And you said, push them harder. So I did that little test before a holiday week. I put three more jobs on the roster for the week to finish. First, it was a quick complaint. Next thing you know, they finished it a day early. So I know they can do that. And with a mentor like you showing me that, it just blew my mind that, there's people have more to give.
And this is really, people ask me about my partnership with Grant Cardone, and obviously you're a huge fan of Grant,
Yeah,
a huge
absolutely.
supporter of the foundation, which thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And I think that this is the magic or the genius, in addition to his other superpowers, but this is the magic and genius to Grant. This when you think you're at capacity, put more on your plate and make that the challenge, and test what your capacity really is, and stretch your team so they actually feel they can absorb more capacity versus be in their comfort zone. And you and I had that conversation. You did that, and boom, you closed the year off with more revenues than you anticipated.
Absolutely. And you know what? More camaraderie was built, because of that. We had celebrations, and we have little barbecues and stuff. Through you guys, I've always been a thankful person. I'm extremely generous as well. People. I overpay my employees, but personally, I feel that they're not overpaid for what they do. They work, they're amazing people.
Yeah, you overpay them based on what the market might pay.
Based on the market,
yeah,
yes, 100% on the market, but not on what they do. And they're just, they're great and they want to do. So if, you have a great leader, and again, I've always, since the inception of Red Rock, I've always had mentors, and I'm just blessed to have you and Grant in my life, and showing me the way to create that extra wealth, and which will allow me to do great things, because that's basically what it's about, doing great things.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think this is a good lesson for everyone listening or watching the show, depending on what you're doing, is to understand, like if you want to be a leader of people, you got to sound like this. You got to have gratitude. You got to have appreciation. You've got to have dedication and commitment to your team. And the more you can demonstrate that, the more people want to rally behind you versus push you away. And you're such a good dude that way. And it's going to be fun. From my mouth to your ears.
I love it.
It's going to be fun when we go back and revisit this podcast in 2 or 3 years. And
That's
we
great.
update what you've done between now and then. We know what you've done in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
From 15 million to going to do 50 million this year.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be very exciting.
It's exciting now. I'm just, to be here, and, it's just, my dreams are coming true, and I thank you for that. It's just, everyone here is just amazing, and you learn something from every person here. It's, you obviously, you and Natalie have been, teaching people, to follow protocol, and that's what I need to do with my company.
What's it like for you to be sitting downstairs with a whole bunch of entrepreneurs who literally are on the same journey that you're on, to where they're looking at how big their business can get? They've doubled or tripled the size of their company. They're like sitting in the right room with the right people. How important is that to you?
You know what? It's very important, because you take a little bit from each person. Sometimes I accept some information, and sometimes I give. So, I was just talking to someone yesterday about how his bookkeeper is no longer there, and his wife is helping him with the bookkeeper, but that's not really what he wants to do. I made a few suggestions based on what you guys taught me, and have your family be family, and he's taking that advice. At the same time, people are giving me advice, and you take a little bit, you listen to everybody, and that's how you do it. So
Yeah, if you're in the right room.
If you're in the right room, absolutely.
If you're listening to a little bit of everybody and you're in the wrong room, it's catastrophic.
There is so much negativity. We live in New York. Listen, I love New York. It's extremely fast-paced. It's a little different from the South. I really enjoy the South. I do feel that, one day, I know my son's going there, so I better go with him. That's one of the reasons for expanding into the southern states for me. But, we'll always have our base, and there's always a lot of, always a lot of negativity around you, so you got to rise above that. And you know what? Through the Cardone U and all this, you get that positivity, and listening to your podcasts and your Cardone Ventures, weekly updates it's great.
So talk a little bit about the importance of having your team on Cardone U and working together and drill practicing and rehearsing together and role playing together. Is it better to have them do that as a team, or is it better for them to practice on your customers doing that?
No, yeah, obviously, just to, there was some pushback originally as far as, a family member who worked for me that just, he didn't feel it was the right time. There's never the right time. You got to just cut the cord and go. And now everyone is just excited that we're following this program, and we're seeing results. It's about duplication. And
as a business owner, every time someone puts resistance in the air, you know this now. So you're like, that resistance is the reason we might break and fail, versus
100%.
all of us working in the same direction, doing the same thing.
And if there's a problem, and yesterday ended at midnight. But John Maxwell said that. Yesterday ended at midnight, and I really believe that. And sometimes I got to remind people, just are you done? And let's get going back to what we need to do. And it's just, we have our meetings in the mornings, and it's great. It's just, the team is just pumped up. It's great. It's
That's
just
awesome.
so great.
Well, you heard it here from Dom. Here's the deal: consistency, training your team, having a bigger picture, being in the right room, having a structure, having a plan, showing up, listening, pulling the right people, talking to people who are on the same journey, that are accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, being around people who will push you to be a better, greater version of yourself, having a great attitude, and bringing people along the ride that you care about and you want to share your success with.
100%. And to add to that, I always base my my life on character and communication, because everyone's quick to text or whatever. And you know what? Sometimes even with a new business I just started, there was new people and they were just talking about this. I said, no more texting. I said, everyone needs to get in a room and talk to each other, and now everyone is in sync, and it's super important. And if you say something, you got to commit to that and do it.
There you go. So if you're
important.
going to make a promise,
Yeah.
which is really what your brand is
Yeah,
in
yeah.
business.
100%.
Your brand isn't just your promise to potential customers, it's the promise to your existing customers, and most importantly, it's the promise to your team members, because if without them being fully aligned, they're not going to support your customers or your new customers.
Well, 100%. 20 years ago, when I started Red Rock Industries, I branded everything Team Red Rock. So everything, all the machines, everyone's shirts, apparel, everything says Team Red Rock, because everyone wants to be on a team, especially a winning team.
Yeah.
This is a winning team, and I'm glad to be on your winning team.
My goodness.
So thank you
it's
so
great
much.
to have you.
Thank
hey,
you
I just
so
want
much.
to tell
Appreciate
you from Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
I told him you were going to be here, and he's like,
Oh.
man, tell that dude how much I appreciate him supporting the foundation
Oh,
and being a leader in the organization.
There's a lot more to come, and thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right,
All right.
you heard it straight from Dom.
Thank
Hey,
you.
if you're in construction, if you're in insurance, if you're in HVAC, if you're in a dentistry, it doesn't matter what you do. It matters who you are, how you think, and who you do it with. And you heard it from me on this show. You heard it from Dom as well. Thank you for listening or watching another episode of the B. Dawson Show, where we're going to always bring you entrepreneurs, thought leaders, business owners, founders who are actually executing every single day, so you can have the inspiration, the wisdom, the motivation to take action, control your personal, professional, financial future. And that's what we're always going to be talking about here on the B. Dawson Show. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. Have a good day.